Hi. Well, let me begin to start with my name is Jesse. I am 36 years old. I was born in 1985, and my story is kind of like yours. I was a fun, lovable kid. I didn't have enemies. I didn't have problems. I was your typical, well, tomboy girl, as I would say. But it was your typical tomboy girl. I did everything with the guys just because growing up in my time, family friends were either brother and sisters or at least considered each other cousins. Sorry. Um, it was when I was 13. Well, I was 12. And one of my uncles that was a best friend passed away. And I always believed it was my fault because of me asking him to stop drinking because he was an alcoholic. Well, he died August 2nd, 1998. Right before my birthday, November 23rd, 1998. Well, we'll go down the line, and I turned 16. My emotions, depression got horribly bad. And it went sour after that. I started smoking pot and smoking cigarettes. And then I was 18. I packed my shit and left. I was working 4 jobs just because I never wanted to be home. And I don't know why I never really understood that part yet. Well, from 2005, I was, let's just say, not too good. I was partying, I was smoking weed, I was doing coke, I was doing, that was about it at that time that I was doing. But before then, in 2004, more close to 2004, I met my ex-husband. We knew each other but never really hung out because he was the bad boy type and I was the goody two-shoes. After I met him, 4 months later we got married because I found out I was pregnant with my first son. Everything was okay. It was good. We got married in that year of July 2005. I had my first son January of 2006. After I had my first son, it was like a brand new beginning for me. I never did drugs. I stopped doing everything except I would have a drink here and there on holidays with my family. Well, like, who doesn't? Well, after about not even a year, I realized he became abusive. Not in the same way a lot of people think. Not physically. mentally, emotionally, and personally. Sorry, we got these little bugs out this way. So, every time I would try to go to leave him, I'd end up getting pregnant again. So in 2008, I had my second son. And it got just worse and worse. In 2013, I had my first daughter. Thought that this might change things because it was a girl. Nope. He let his sister try to beat the crap out of me for speaking my mind. Because her son, who was 6 at the time, no, 7, no, 6 or 7, slapped my daughter, who was only 8 months old. I think any mother, any right mother in their head, would kind of get a little irritated that the mother of the child that slapped the girl, who was a boy, didn't do anything or didn't punish her son or did absolutely nothing about it and said, oh, well, he's just a little kid. Doesn't matter. You sit there and at least tell your son, bad, you don't do that kind of thing. She was a girl. You're a boy. You don't have to yell at him. Just tell him what he did wrong at least. She didn't think it was wrong. So I spoke my mind, which I normally never did. Because at that point, I wasn't allowed to. I wasn't allowed to have friends. I wasn't allowed to do anything. I was told that I had to forget my parents, forget my family, because all they are just retarded moochies. Or moochers. And then it got to the point where, because I was speaking my mind more frequently, he left me. Two weeks later, I found out I was pregnant with my 4th child. Yeah, he's like stopping myself. I kill him though. After I found out I was pregnant, he denied up and down. Oh, it's not mine. It's not mine. But yet, not even a week after he left me, he wanted sex from me. I wonder how that happens. Well, when this happened, before I found out I was pregnant, and he wanted a separation, he kicked me out of the house that we were staying in. Because it got down to the point of us being homeless, to where we were staying with his sister. He told me I wasn't allowed to be at his sister's house. So, I left that day. I packed and left. I was on the street for another night. And then somebody that I considered a brother found out and took me in. Well, after I left his sister's house that we were staying at. I went to my brother's. I found out that I was pregnant there, and my brother wanted to take care of me. He didn't want me to have to go through this pregnancy myself, because that was one of my biggest fears of why I never left. Other than being told that he would take my kids from me. And other problems that I can maybe tell you if you want to know the rest of my story. After I was about 6 months pregnant, and my sister-in-law saw the sonogram because his mother took me to go to the doctors. It looked just like my other kids. You can tell. They had the father's family's features that all of their kids have. As of today, it would be 24. So, all of them have certain features of the same child. Well, I ended up having her tell me that she wanted me to move in with her so that way she could help me take care of the baby. And this way I knew I was with family. And I could see my kids and they could come to the house if need be. Well, I went miserably the 8 months. When I had my child, my husband denied it. Wouldn't sign the birth certificate. Never came to see me, never came to see his child. Except the day we got released, because I didn't have any other way of getting home. And I think he wanted to see if it was or not. Even though his parents told him that it was. Because she looked just like the other ones. Well, for the first 6 months, or no, three to 4 months, it was good. I was seeing my kids every day. I was taking care of the baby like she was actually mine. Just because I had to go to his parents because that's where my other kids were. And our case was never closed completely, so wherever my other kids are, whatever kids I have, go there. Which I'm perfectly fine because it's with their siblings. At least they grow up together. Well, once my last daughter, was able to start eating baby food on her own, or with spoons, I was told that I wasn't allowed to come see the kids unless I had an appointment with his parents, because that's where they were. They never liked me to begin with, just for say. Once they denied me the right to see my kids constantly, I went back to court. Well, because I went back to court, and to say, I got on in a program so I could be clean to get my kids back. Because of when I first lost my kids, I said fuck it and I started doing drugs. other than pot and drinking. Well, once, because of the fact that I was in a program and they didn't, like, they got a mix up and I missed an appointment, they kicked me out. Well, when I went to court, they said because of the fact that I wasn't in a program for more than 4 months, because I had gotten into a new program a week after I got kicked out just because of this being on the medications I was on. I had to be in this new program for more than 4 months. They denied me on visitations without supervision, which was completely stupid because I was doing everything they asked me to. My ex-husband wasn't, and he was getting to see the kids every day for as long as he wanted. So, once I took them to court, that's when all contacts were stopped. It wasn't good enough or of a time to come over, or they were busy, or I wasn't allowed to join unless I had money, when they always bought our tickets for stuff for with the kids so that we were there. Well, I ended up relapsing bad. I relapsed until just recently, 2 years now, that I am clean and sober. I smoke cigarettes, but I know how it is to go down the rabbit hole and not know if you're able to come back out or not. If it wasn't for my mom and my dad